ago, I changed my settings in OBS, lower bit rate, and a few other things. So I'm going to see if we can actually play the game and try to keep this going. Something resembling a proper stream. We'll just have to see. If it stutters a lot, I'm on Wi-Fi is probably the biggest issue. But I don't seem to be having as many dropped frames this time, so changing the bit rate to a lower rate, hopefully that'll take care of it. Seems to be staying pretty stable. That's good. A bit close to the damn monitor, but and it unplugged. Bear with me for a moment, I need to get this plugged back in. Where are you? This being a pain in the ass. Come on, stop being so stupid. Over here where you belong. Okay. There, that's better. Yay. Alrighty, so I am playing 7 Days to Die, heavily modded, as is my preference. No. Get that down here for now. Graph the bedroll, and I'm just going to be playing the game kind of casually, playing it as I normally would. I'm still getting dropped frames, but it doesn't seem to be as constant as it was. So hopefully it'll at least be watchable. If not, I'm just going to have to figure out a way to either get this done with the Wi-Fi I'm using or just give up entirely, which I would rather not do because I would like to get it back into streaming. I did most of it over on the other channel I have on the YT, but I wanted to get into using Twitch, and I never really got the opportunity because right around the time that I was wanting to do that last year, ended up having to move. And it wasn't a bad thing, it's just the apartment complex I live in was doing remodeling, and we had to move from the building we were in to a building that had already gotten remodeled, so not a bad thing, but it did disrupt life. I'm still getting a lot of dropped frames, but just let it go and see how things work out. Down goes the tree. Go ahead and replant that just because. Club, bow, and arrow. grab some more stone because you always need resources in this game. The more, the merrier. Alright. I suck with the bow and arrow, so I'm not going to try to use it. Go ahead and grab some wood frames. Drop that sucker down. Campfire. And off we go. Yes. Yes. Now I'm going to try to become a citizen of White River. Which, with one of the mods I like to use, has actual meaning. Considering that in vanilla 7 Days to Die, there really is no further story once you get past those beginning quests. As you can see, I have 8 perk points to start with. That is something else that's been modded by me, actually, because I don't like the limitations of the 4 points you normally start with. Go ahead and do Sexy T-Rex. I'll save the other 2. And I am playing on Warrior difficulty with a couple of mods that seriously impact damage output. The first mod makes things a tad easier by substantially boosting headshot damage. The other one makes things harder by cutting all damage to the body in half. So the only way to consistently kill these bastards is with headshots. First thing I'm wanting to do here is just try to clear out all of the zombies wandering around the yard here, because this place is a treasure trove of junk. Here we go. I can start the process of looting all of this crap, really. But having stuff when you first go to the trader is a good thing to do. It's also a good way to end up being killed and tossed halfway across the damn map before you've even completed the quest, but hopefully that won't happen. I'm not going to bother with that for now. Did I miss anything over here? Yes, I did. If you're wondering why I'm getting rid of the trash piles as I loot them, it's just so I don't come back to them. Plus, you get resources when you destroy them. Paper, plastic, mostly. But, well, paper doesn't really sell well, but plastic actually does. keeping my ears open for any zombies that might be wandering around. There's a Zombipedia book. It's another mod. I use a lot of mods. I like using mods. It's a bit windy today. But I like using mods to enhance the things about games that I enjoy and reduce the things that annoy me. For example, I really hate things like the vultures and the wolves and the dogs in the game, so I'm using a mod, well, a series of mods actually made by the same person that kind of just gets rid of them and replaces them with other zombies. And I have it set so that it replaces them with reasonably tough zombies at that. Because it's what I hate about them, the vultures, dogs, wolves, is just that so often they'll attack you and you'll have absolutely no warning whatsoever. Just all of a sudden you're getting attacked. And if you're not if you're not looking down when it happens with or up in the case of the vultures, they can get a couple, 3 shots in on you before you have a chance to even start reacting to them. To me, that's cheap. It's cheap, it pisses me off, it really reduces my enjoyment of playing, so I use mods to remove them. And have something that's still a bit challenging, but in a way that, to me, feels a bit more fair and enjoyable. Not getting a huge amount of good stuff here. Gotten a lot of lockpicks, though. That's pretty good. There is a safe inside of this location, this POI. With all those lockpicks, I might go ahead and take a crack at getting into it. But again, another mod I use improves the chances of getting into things with lockpicks. And then I also use a mod that adds a crowbar and another one that adds a doorbuster mod that also works on safes. And that's because I'm using the combo pack. And the people who make the combo pack POIs, the locations you can loot, all the different buildings and whatnot, that's an interesting find. I forgot to loot that first. But anyway, yeah, the people who make the combo pack POIs seem to actually enjoy the lock picking, which to me is one of the most frustrating things in this game. So again, I use another mod to change the rates on that a bit, just because it's such an aggravation trying to use the lockpicks. And the problem with the combo pack POIs, if you're unaware, maybe you've never played the game, everybody? Okay. I can try to get back to what I was saying. So the problem with the Compo Pack POIs is that they tend to be full of locked doors and safes that are locked and locked boxes that are locked. In the vanilla game POIs, the lock boxes mostly are unlocked, and doors will be locked, but there's always a path. They kind of have made most of the locations in the game, the POIs, into... Make sure I got everything. Okay. In dungeon-like instances. So there's always a way in. There's a path through. And usually the boxes at the end are unlocked, so you don't have to worry about using your lockpicks. You usually only have to worry about it with safes, because safes sometimes have better loot in them. The small ones, not so much. The big ones, definitely. So, again, Zombipedia is another mod I like to use, that every time you read one of them, you get some in-game tips from players. Need to do that. And you also get a skill point, which is the main reason I like to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and put a point in lockpicking, because I want to see if I can get into that safe. Since I found a tier 6 sledgehammer right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and put a point in Skull Crusher. Normally I don't rock the sledgehammers much, but when you're handed a gift, sometimes it's best to take advantage of it. So it doesn't appear like that there's an easy way in on this side. Mountain Plague. Goddamn uppercut. This is also a nitrogen map, so... Oh, good grief, there's another one out here. And another one over here. Strippers on me. Fall down. Shut up. The apocalypse wouldn't be bad if it wasn't for all the damn zombies. Oh, God. All down, fool. Hello, yo. Go, yo. Head gone. Seems like I'm still having lots of dropped frames. Get in here eventually. Come on. This is the room with the safe. This is what I'm here for. Don't really give a shit about the rest of the rooms in this place too much. Pick the lock. Nope, you're gonna be a dick. See, this is why I hate the lock picking. That's a nice find, first thing. That's some additional jewelry items I put in the game. Don't know why I get them quite as often as I do. I need to check the loot tables for that particular bit of modding, because they should be much more rare than the nuggets that you can get, the silver and gold nuggets, but I seem to get them more often. I don't know why. And I have to go in and check the probability table, or probability settings on there again. So that could be a feral or just a speeded up one over there with the one that's leaking green crap from its face. There's one there. There's a cowboy down there. There might be one down in the pit there. I don't have any ranged weapons at the moment, so time to just go in and smack face. Yep, there's one down here. Looks like I'm not going to make it to the trader day one. But that's okay, that means when I get there tomorrow... Oh, zombies get first blood. Took a little while. Wait for my stamina to regen before I go wake Drippy Mo up over there. Hey, dummy, wake up. Drippy face. Come here. Yes, you can run. I know you run. Come at me. Come on. Yep, that was properly a feral. Just go ahead and grab that. And that is from another mod that kind of inserts potentially nasty zombies in various places that they normally would not be, which keeps things more interesting sometimes, but it can also be annoying, I have to admit. Especially day one, just trying to get going, and you have a damn feral zombie in your face. But what you gonna do? Bust its head. That's what you do. That's right where I was. Yeah, it's just back in there. Didn't I already kill you? Trying to avenge your redneck family or something. Too bad. They did. So you. sounded really weird. Not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do, but I can nerd pull my ass up here. Before it properly gets to be nighttime, because there will be wights and lots of ferals roaming about. Too far away, that's okay. I'll be safe up here, for the most part. So let's look at all the crap that I accumulated here. Let's see what we can just go ahead and get rid of. Scrap. What I want to keep. Go ahead and repair that, repair that. And it is 2200. Nighttime. Scary times. Wow, what an ensemble. There you go. It's a look. I'm not sure if it's a very good look, but it's a look. Go ahead and scrap some stuff. Well, maybe I'll go ahead and make a couple of those for later. I could actually just go ahead and make this into a base, honestly. It's a pretty good location. It's nice and high. I think this is all concrete. It's concrete. There are zombies down there already trying to get to me, but good luck with that task. The trader is right over that way. Let's look at the map here, though. That's the only thing that I don't think I really like, is I prefer to be closer to town and closer to the trader when I set up shop. So I'm going to have to put a nix on that one. Let's go ahead and eat some chips. Go ahead and eat some strawberries too. What the hell? Why not? But yeah, if you want to know where I get any of the mods I use, and you see something that normally isn't in the game, it's a mod. And if you're interested in finding the mods I use, go to either Nexus or, just do a search on 7 Days to Die mods and you'll find them. But I use one for more storage, or more backpack space, I guess you could call it. Oh, let's put that one on. Yeah, purple, turquoise, red, and brown, I guess. Like I said, it's a look. Not sure how good of a look, but it is a look. You can go ahead and make a little bit of armor, a couple of pieces, and I have actually 0 armor on, so just straight up make some armor. Let's see. I've got boots on, so I'll go ahead and get some gloves and chest armor. That's all the cloth I have, so SOL on doing any more with that. Although I can scrap the sweatshirt and I guess I'll just hold on to those for now. I have 3 points available. I could go ahead and put a couple of points in light armor. It's not a bad idea. I'll do that. I don't want to scrap what I already made because I don't have enough resources to make more. But I can go ahead and make some padded leg armor. There we go. It's not doing too bad for a first day in 7 days to die. Go ahead and duck down and go into stealth mode. Sometimes the zombies will forget about you and wander off again. Go ahead and put those in my hotbar just because I can. Get back to scrapping those because I don't need the additional items taking up the space in my inventory right now. Is there anything else I can just go ahead and scrap down? Those I can scrap. I do not have anything to use them with at the moment. Yeah, I think that's all I can really do. I could use some water. I only have the 1 jar. I'm going to have to go ahead and use it because I'd rather not get too low and have a big hit to my stamina. So this is the part of 7 days that's kind of sucky. Because all you can really do is just kind of sit and wait. Let's see. Just waiting for the night to finish. I do have it set on 40-minute days, so everything should be, it's kicking by pretty quickly. I normally play on 50 minutes or an hour a day, but I figured for streaming, I didn't want to be sitting around doing nothing too often, so the night should be fairly short. Ready. I don't think I've ever looked to see if there's anything up here. No, there's not. Oh, the 2 that were down there seem to have wandered off. That's something. So if we sell that, that's a lot of dosh right there. I'll go ahead and put a point in better barter. Yeah, it's just a bit more. Could potentially sell that brass for a pretty penny. All the oil would go well. The plastic can sell well. Somebody's down there bitching. Hey. So I don't really need that in the bar anymore if I'm going to be using a sledgehammer. Let's see. If I would have gone ahead and grabbed that murky water, I could have made a bit more glue. That would have been something. But screw it. I don't need to hold on to that, really. No, I need to go ahead and make a shovel. Didn't think about that. Should have gone ahead and put a point into miner. That takes too damn long. probably find a tier 2 or a level 2 shovel almost immediately, because they seem to be pretty common. But oh wells. This way I'll have one if I need it. Not if, when I need it. Because I'm going to be rushing cobblestone. That's my usual way of playing, is I'll push cobblestone and building a base pretty quickly. Alright, it's almost 4. No, bastards. Whee! And that's why I like to grab parkour. Because I can do stuff like that. Ooh, that's actually a really nice find. Do I want to go in the proper way, or do I want to cheese it a little? I'll go in the proper way. Getting kind of lucky on the loot. I do have loot at 150%, but only because I usually up it a little bit when I've got it on warrior difficulty from the beginning. Because warrior difficulty right off the bat is a bit rough. Nice find. Yeah, sure, why not? I've almost never used that. Go away, yo. Yo ho ho. Let's grab that for now. Take that. Let's grab that. Let's see inside. On the door. Sit down. Permanently. One piece of armor that I actually made at a higher level is the one I keep getting. It's always the way. I swear this game has a logarithm somewhere, a hidden bit of code that intentionally waits for you to make something and then keeps giving you that thing. Stuff to sell at the moment, so it's something I will not use, or probably won't use. I'm going to just go ahead and said? Oh yeah, schematics and stuff. If it's not something I intend to use. Ooh, a door smasher. Yay. No longer a victim of overzealous combo pack creators that think they need to have every door locked with fully upgraded vault doors all over the place and all that sort of nonsense. Forgot to do that earlier. Go ahead. Mark those as being done. Let's see. Scrap that. Scrap that. Scrap that. On that. Put the door smasher on it. That is going to be my go-to tool for breaking into things. Onward ho. Tad lag. A tad of lag. A bit of lag. A laggy tad. Sometimes it'll make you mad. Oh look, it's Hugh. Hugh is this. Bit of a prick, not as bad as Wrecked, though. Which is why I changed the code and took Wrecked out of the generation for Nitrogen. And the vanilla world generator for that matter. I don't have to deal with them for the most part. Because honestly, who wants to deal with Trader Wrecked? He's an asshole. Good stuff to sell. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, it's a working workbench. Interesting. I usually prefer to have my own on sided wherever it is I'm going to have my base, but okay. More stuff I can sell. Cement mixer. Would have preferred some more cobblestone, but okay. Never overlook the trash. You can find all sorts of good junk in there. I am finding an absolute amazing amount of lockpicks. That's useful.
Drop your weapons or drop your drawers.
Shut up. Alrighty. Strange. Must push the wrong thing. Bum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. That's a lot of oil, and I've already got a lot of cash. Let's see what he's got. Cobblestone, yes, thank you. I love it when they have huge amounts of cobblestone. That makes it so much easier to build. Hugh, you are the guy that has weapons. What do you have? A lot of stuff that's more or less out of my price range, really. I can get a tier 3 AK. That's not terrible by any stretch. I wasn't planning to go into machine guns, but beggars are not people that should be choosers. Of course, I'm not necessarily begging here. Go ahead and sell off a bit more. Get rid of that 5.56 ammo because I can't really use it right now. Get rid of that. Do I have enough to get this? Not yet. I don't have anything else right offhand I can sell. 9mm I'm holding on to. Do you have any 7.62? Yes, you do. I'm taking that. Alrighty, so we got ourselves a gun and some ammo to go with that gun.
Those damn things are selling like hotcakes.
I'm sure they are.
I have a little good deal. I hope you have a game plan.
Who doesn't want a purple AK-47? Nothing in particular I want there. Alrighty. I need to go ahead and craft that. Another mod I like to use, Citizen. It's a citizenship quest. It actually expands on the initial quests you get. Alrighty, let's see. Quite a ways away. Normally I like to try to stick to like around 400 meters away or less when I'm on foot. But I'll usually take anything up to 6. Although I do prefer to stay closer. Did I have another point yet? Yes. Good to go with Rule 1 cardio. There's another junkyard. Early on, Rule 1 cardio, even just that 1 point, is very helpful in getting your stamina decent for when you're running around. Because in my experience with 7 Days to Die, mobility is your friend. Heavy armor can have its use, but more often than not, you're better off staying mobile. Because it's better to be able to move around and avoid getting hit altogether whenever possible. Because I find that even if you're loaded up with heavy armor, looks like I'm gonna have to exit and go back in. That damn graphics bug with 7 Days. Where you end up with all the blocks getting weird. Load up already. Hello, one viewer. Had a graphics bug. Have to get the damn save restarted. Here we go. Sometimes I double dip on looting, sometimes I don't. Depends on if I'm in the mood to do it or not. Sit down. Stay down. Hello, any venom? Yes, there is. Boo. You trying to scare me? Actually, that almost worked. Nobody in there. Nobody in there. Somebody up here. Why am I doing it that way? Hello. Bye. Helmet light, that's good. Leather hood, I'll take it, considering I have no armor on my head at the moment. And of course, I buy an AK, so the game gives me an AK. Although that is a lower level one, but still. It is just bizarre how often the game will do that. Oh, you just spent a bunch of cash on this thing. Here, have one for free. Put those on because I don't have any actual armor on my feet either. Go ahead and put the helmet light on the thing so I can have that available. It's always nice to have. I hear somebody rumbling. Where are you? Outside, I guess. Yes, bags of blood in the closet. That's what you want to see. Kind of makes me wonder what the people that lived here were doing. Yes, very probably old scrambled eggs. That's. Read the Zombipedia. Keep checking all the stuff and loot everything we can because this is only day 2 and need everything I can get. Oh, here you go. Stop bobbing your head around. Well, that's something you don't see every day. Oh. They're trying to flank me. Moved at the last moment. Good. Oh, good grief, this is an entire wandering horde. Should I use the AK? I think I'm doing alright with just the head. And that is all of them, I think. Oh, luckily I did not completely leave because I forgot about the damn supplies. Nope, not all of them. Shut up. There we go. Whee! My hands go numb sometimes. Probably carpal tunnel, not sure. Sometimes I do try to play this a little too much like an FPS game. Or maybe it's just that I do get some sort of sick satisfaction, yes, out of just running right by the zombies or jumping over them. But also just wandering right up to one and sledging it right in the face. Or clubbing, I usually use clubs. But when you find a level 6 sledgehammer right off the bat, that's kind of the game saying, use sledgehammers this time. Oh, too jerky.
Speak. Quick, not
Yes,
bad,
hello, Hugh.
but not great. Just don't let this go to your head.
Cooling mesh or shotgun shells. 28 gauge, the shotgun mod I did myself. There's a couple of videos over on the YT, my channel over there, that you can watch to see how to do that. I'll take the ammo. Do I have enough to get that sledge? No, not close, not yet. That's going to be useless for the time being. I'd rather break that down for the parts. That's not worth selling. That I can sell. If I sell all that off, I still won't be particularly
I guess
close.
you're not so
and
bad
I would rather
after
hold
all.
on to it.
Take a number. Okay, we
Fetch
have a
quest,
deal.
that works for me. A little bit cheesy there. That when you restart a game, you reset all of your quests, actually. So, I mean, you can use it as a trick if you want. If you have a bunch of trader quests you don't like because they're all like over a kilometer away or something, exit out of the game, log back into it, and you'll have a different set of quests. Normally I don't like doing that because it does feel a bit cheesy, but I had to reset it, or I had to log out because the graphics glitch earlier. If you're familiar with 7 Days, you know what glitch I'm talking about probably. It's the one where everything turns into like marble blocks or whatever. All the blocks get screwy. It's annoying. Doesn't really stop the game from working, but a lot of times it completely obscures everything and you can't see. Oh, it's Skullfoot Headface. Broken Skull Headface. Go to sleep. Permanently. To you too. Annoying little bink. I want to say usually there's somebody waiting in there, but okay. I'm not going to complain. Oh, maybe I was mistaken for this one. That's actually a good thing to find. Coffee's always good. I don't actually drink coffee, but in the game it's good. More of a tea person. Oh, crap. No problem. Hopefully that is. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Are we quite finished yet? Oh, no. loot the loot. Weapon flashlight mod. Not particularly useful, but it's better than nothing. Since every mod you put onto a weapon does increase its basic damage. I don't want that. But some apples and mashed potatoes is good. Alright, so that's that quest finished, I think. If I go ahead and ignore most of the Zombipedia book, can quickly loot a little bit of the stuff in here and then head back to the trader so I can turn in the quest. I need to start thinking about where I'm going to go ahead and set up a base. Sure, that junkyard did look pretty good. Good grief, how many of you screws are out here? I just want to mark my map. I don't think I'm going to make it to the trader in time. 200, over 200 meters, less than an hour, about an hour in game time. Maybe I can make it. Watch the stamina so I don't completely tank out. I want to make sure I have enough to fight with. Almost, but not quite. When they say closing soon, they mean momentarily. Let's see. How about in here? Go ahead and grab this cobblestone, because I'm going to need that for building. Oh, it's one of the ones that... Didn't remember which one this was. I don't remember which one this is. Nice chunk of cash right there. I see 2 widow zombies. There's no real point to doing that because the sledgehammer does not get any kind of sneak attack, but it was funny to me. Getting a little bit lucky on the loot bags. I do have one of the mods I'm using increases loot bag drop a little bit. Because I find it annoying to do horde nights and, you know, kill like 30 zombies or something, or 50 zombies, or 100 zombies, whatever, and you get dick all for it. Because when it comes to games, I'm more of the mind of risk reward. It's how I like to play. You know, I feel like, you know, it's not real life, it's a game. If you're going to take a risk in a game, there should be some sort of reward afterwards. That's how games usually work. If it feels like the reward that you end up getting, if there is one at all, isn't worth the effort that you put in, then, at least in my case, I end up feeling gypped. sledge, another crowbar. That's kind of nice. We got zombies outside trying to bash their way in. Sugar, sausage. Let me hit you. All right. Hello, goodbye. Oh, you sneaky little something. Not nice word starting with C. Oh, fuck. So much for not cussing. God damn it. Get up there. Yeah, of course there's no way for the damn thing to get up here. So much for finding someplace safe. God damn you. How the hell have I taken so much goddamn damage already? Because I haven't really healed at all. Shit. This'll help. This'll do. Yeah, come over here, Mr. White. See how you like those damn landmines that are out there. It's a hell of a position. Did I kill you? Probably didn't. Doesn't sound like it killed me. At least not all of them. Maybe it killed the white, but it didn't kill everybody that was inside. I don't care. No, he didn't die. Ow. There went the car. How did I get infected? It must have been when Bitchy Tits hit me. Oh, good grief. It's just a whole damn horde coming after me. Alright, let's see, how am I going to deal with this? So, I can put that and that on there. I prefer semi-automatic fire. I don't have anything to go on armor. I can put that on there, even though it's better for a pickaxe, but I'd rather have some extra damage. Go ahead and get some food eaten. Oh hell, there's a damn spider coming over too. Everybody wants to come and play with me tonight. Hey, come over this way. Hey, come over here. Come over this way. Yeah, come over this way. You know you want to. Dumbasses. Thing is that one of the mods, basically, if I don't get headshots, I'm not going to do much anything to it. His body damage is cut in half. I hate how squirmy these fools are. Job's a good. White must have been taken out by the car explosion. There's the daytime chime. Survive through the night. Barely. Now, I do not play permadeath, but I have not put my bedroll down anywhere, so if I had died there, I would have been tossed who the hell knows where. And there are still zombies around, so I'm going to go ahead and get my ass back up where it's relatively safe, so I can heal up a bit. That. Oh, painkillers. Eat a sausage. I'm going to need some fluids, because the painkillers dehydrate you. Drink some milk. Scrap that. I had absolutely no chance whatsoever to go through my stuff and sort things out. Trader Hugh is right over there. This is a fairly stable location. I could go ahead and use this to convert it into a base. Is it a... Okay, it doesn't have any funky blocks on top. It's an actual full block building. If you don't know what I mean, it's some of the buildings only have half blocks on the top, so if you were to put a block down on top of it, it would only it would float. It would look like it's floating. Because as far as the game's concerned, there is another block there, but visually it's only half of a block, and it also physically would interact with things as a half a block, but for other blocks it's a full-size block because of the building system. It's just very weird. Alrighty. Gas station over there is also pretty good as a spot. It's smaller, less space to have to defend, but having some decent space to set up shop is not bad either. And of course it's pissing on me again. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and do a conversion for this as a base. But how do I want to set it up is the question. Let's see. I don't really want them over here. This is not bad because I can use this side as part of a killing corridor. Sort of a setup that could work. Whoa. That was a bit strange, but okay. Gotta be mindful that there are still mines. I want to go down there yet. Thank you very much. So how much cobblestone do I have so far? 1,200. Conversion rather than freestanding build. I can work with that. Try 100 flagstone blocks. Or cobble blocks to start with. Alright. Let me find out who's down here and deal with them. Most of the mines got detonated during the night. There's still that one. There's one right there. Ooh, there's a screamer. Possibly inside. I have another mod that makes screamers show up as regular spawns. Oh, no. Here she is. Did you create a horde to come after me? Yes, you did. It's a bunch of crawling redheads. Far too much health. Well, it could have been worse as far as screamer hordes go. The heat index for the location must have jacked up because of the mines going off. Oh, I forgot about the infection. Use some honey. Alright, so let's see how we're going to build this. That, get it out of the inventory. So I want to make a corridor, sort of a build. Don't necessarily want to do it the way I first thought. I think I'll do it like this. This is really the first easiest kind of build you'll want to do for horde bases. Sure, we can make them do a jog around. For shits and giggles. Alrighty, so they come up this way, they have to turn around, which means some of them will fall off because they are very clumsy. And then use a basic hatch hallway sort of a setup. There we go. I don't have anything better to remove this with. Will the sledgehammer do it faster? Yep, cool. Takes care of that. And I don't have to build any ramparts up here to keep myself from falling off, because they already are here. Helpful. I do not want the enemies, the zombies, to be able to get up here, so... Fortunately, this has already been pretty badly damaged by the car explosion. Okay, this is not working. There we go. Not particularly efficient. I'll have to do something about that, which is easy enough to do. Make a few ladders. Let's see. Height I can jump. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, that'll do the job. A couple more, I think. I did get one over here, right? No, I didn't. Okay, a couple more. Right. That way, pretty much anywhere I come from, I can get up here easily. Which is important if you're being chased, especially if you have something go wrong on a horde night. You have to run for it or fix something. You want to have plenty of ways to get back up where you're fighting from. Alright, I could use some more fluids. Because in this game, you go through food and fluids ridiculously fast. Okay, I've got a bunch of points available. Probably some from Zombipedia and leveling up. I wasn't paying attention. Just to slow down that, I'll go ahead and put one in Iron Gut. I do get smacked around a bit, but I'm going to avoid pain tolerance for the moment. Go ahead and throw a point machine gunner, because I've got an AK-47. I like to go into intellect. So I'm going to start pushing that. Go ahead and repair my sledgehammer, so I have that good to go. I could really use a hammer, make this a little faster, but oh well. I have another point already. Guess I was pretty close to leveling up. So yeah, the first thing I want to do, of course, is shore up the supports, because I don't want these getting knocked out. That would be bad, because then the zombies would just start trying to tear down the building itself, which would take them a while, because I'm pretty sure this whole thing is concrete already. Yeah, it's already concrete all the way around. Makes it a really good place to set up shop. If you're new to 7 days and you don't really know how to set up a horde base, you want to convert someplace into a base, unintentional rhyming, find someplace that has concrete or stone walls already in place. It is so much more sturdy and viable long term. I think the mistake a lot of people make is, oh, you know, go into a house and try to fortify a house or something. And the problem is that the zombies, whatever, the undead, they can just tear through buildings like it's nothing. Especially wood. I mean, the concrete and stone at least takes them a while. Early game, at least. You start getting into the later game, they still tear through that fast, which is why you have to upgrade all the way to steel. Because you also, in vanilla, have to deal with demolishers. I have a mod that gets rid of the demolishers because I find them irritating. But then I have another mod that adds in boss zombies, including Horde Night zombies, and one of them blows up. It actually turns into an exploded car, which is weird. Snufkin's zombie add-on. I forget the name of the mod. Snufkin something. Snufkin is the one who made it. Which in some ways, that's actually worse than the Demolisher. I mean, it's not as powerful an explosion, but the burning car shows up. I mean, it turns into an exploded car for some reason. And that car will block your view, so the zombies often will start tearing into your stuff, and you can't hit them. I forgot I did have one of those to put on. Alright, so now I have plenty of iron, don't I? Yes. I'm gonna go for 4 of those. That will complete the basic horde defense for this. A very simple design, but it works. The basic premise of all fortifications throughout history is put the enemy where you want them and make it easy to kill them and hard for them to kill you. See, one of the nice things about putting a turn in a walkway, like I said earlier, is that the zombies are pretty clumsy, especially when they're running, and on Horde Night they always run. Oh hell, there's another damn mine right there. Missed that one. should be all of them. But, yeah, so the zombies are running. Often they'll just run right off of a turn like that, which is helpful because it slows them down getting to you. And you can also do stuff like throw a few blocks in the path like this, because they'll also fall off of things when they jump, and it also slows them down. So, oh, almost forgot. You have to put some sort of protection up top so they can't start stacking on top of each other and get over your defenses. This way they start stacking up on each other. They'll be propelled outward just like I was when I jumped there. You have to be careful of that. Alright. Bottom left corner, right corner, rather. That's how you know that it's in the right position where you want it to face. The square's in the bottom right. If it's up top, you want it in the bottom left, I believe. Check that right quick. Yeah, bottom left. This is also a good trick you can use, is to put a hatch on the top as well. In fact, you can do the entire corridor with hatches on top and bottom. Now, it's not as useful for this playthrough with the mods I use because of the one that reduces body damage by 50%, because attacking them in the legs is practically useless when you do that. But if you're playing normally without any mods that affect your damage, I'm getting really bad drops again. Hopefully that'll stabilize. Might have to go ahead and kill the stream earlier than I intended if this does not improve. I don't know why that all of a sudden is so bad. Now there it goes. It's better now. Hopefully it'll stay better for a while. Back to what I was saying about horde-based design here. So, vanilla playthrough, hopefully what I was saying before wasn't completely screwed up by the frame drops. Just in case, I'll go ahead and repeat what I was saying as abbreviated as possible. So because of the mods I use, that the one that cuts body damage in half, I can't use this trick in this playthrough because I need to get headshots in to kill them. But in vanilla gameplay, if you're going to use a hatch corridor like this, because it is really the simplest base design you can make, you can line both the top and the bottom with the hatches. So if you start losing your first hatch here, you can drop another one down. They break through there, or you can go ahead and drop it so it doesn't get completely destroyed. They'll still run into this hatch here and not be able to get through. Currently, apparently in Alpha 20, they're going to change it so that zombies can crawl through single block heights. Single block high gaps, so I don't know if this will still work then. But as of now, this trick does work. You expose their legs and you can start attacking them in their legs. I mean, you have to be careful that, I mean, you're going to hit your own stuff if you're not careful, but, you know, when it's Horde Night, you have to expect that there's going to be some collateral damage on your own property. The point is to keep the zombies at bay away from you while you can still attack them. And with a hatch down like this, you can attack their legs and knock their legs out from under them and make them fall. It's also good for taking care of the crawlers like the spiders because they can still get through a bit easier, but a hatch down like this will slow them down. So you can get some shots in. You know, you can drop that down first, then drop your first protection layer, kill the spider, and then put your next one up, and then move back forward to attack the regular zombies in the face again. So it gives you some flexibility. And an added layer of protection that you normally wouldn't have if you only do a single set of hatches. And my throat's getting a little scratchy from all that yammering. Alright, so that is initial horde base taken care of. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrench these cars, break them down, because I don't want them being exploded. That's nice. Still a bit scratchy. Damn. Yeah, salvaging and building is really the two best sources of experience. Since I'm going to be doing that, I'll drop a point in salvage ops. Just cause makes it a little bit quicker and a little bit better output rate. Oh, out of stamina. Do I have anything I can do about that? Yeah. Oh, hell, I need to put my down. Most of the zombies in the area seem to have been annihilated by that skirmish during the night, so I seem to be okay for the time being. I wonder why I keep getting books and doubles. That happens sometimes. It's really weird. Very, very weird. Wrenching the cars, wrenching the cars, wrenching the cars away. Alrighty. I could also use a couple of places to drop stuff off because I am encumbered all to hell at the moment. Let's see. Put one there, one there. That covers the whole building, so there shouldn't be any more spawns here. Go ahead and put the land claim block down around here somewhere. That should do. Get the job done. Alrighty, so craftables. Do food first, that's easier. Dun, 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 dun. Sure, dun, 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 dun. Craftables. There's still some food there. You're not a craftable. And by craftables, I also tend to throw building materials and metal. Go ahead and keep that. I usually don't try to build motor tools myself, so I'll throw, or just keep that on me to sell. I'll keep those to sell. I have 2 wrenches, so I'll go ahead and keep the good one and throw the other one in here for later, because I'll want to make a workbench. What else? Throw the rest of this food over here. Don't think I'm going to need any more building right away, or do any more building, I should say. And then I can go ahead and make a regular chest, which I always like to put a regular chest or a storage box of some kind near the entrance of my horde defenses for ammunition. I guess I'll hold on to that. I want to keep the engine. Let's get through and try to find everything and make sure everything is good to go. This is also where I usually put mods and things that I'm going to sell later. Until I start accumulating so much stuff that I have to separate it. This is the system I tend to use. It just seems to get the job done. No, I don't. Well, I do want to keep that, but I don't necessarily need it right now. Put that there. Put a pot on there. I have not found a grill yet, have I? I'll find one eventually. Seeds also go in the food box, because they are food related. And it's already almost nighttime again. No, that's okay. I already had pretty much everything from Hugh that I really wanted. I would have liked to have grabbed that sledge, and I could have gone ahead and got it today, but it's too late now. I didn't turn in the quest yet either one of them, because I can also do the Fallen Citizens thing. But that's okay, I can do that in the morning. Let's see, I should have more than enough stuff to make a forge, or maybe 2. Ooh, no, I don't have any clay. Tad risky to go down after 2200, but I need some clay. I can also go back inside. Did I get all the leather from inside the building? I don't remember if I got it all or not. I'll check. Can't remember how much I need for the forge. I think it's 50. Hopefully that'll do the job. Go back in here. Grab that in case I need more leather. Break into this. Good old crowbar. to worry too much about those damn lockpicks, which I hate ever so much. I didn't really loot this place. That's floating gore. Nope, I didn't. Go ahead and grab this stuff right quick. Keep listening for any sounds of zombies, whites, and other assorted menaces. Alright, I think I'm good. Scrap that. Oh, I can only do one? What am I missing? No, it's 60s clay. So I was off by just a little tiny bit. Go figure. There we go. There we go. 2 forges ready. Something. I lost my train of thought there, I guess. 2 forges in the works there. That completes the thought, I suppose. No, that's right, I have the leather hood I found. Let's go ahead and... Oh. Can't scrap that. Let's see, is there anything else I want to mess with right now? I can throw that back in there. No, I don't think so. Other than go ahead and put this up somewhere so there's some light. No. Tempted to try to get rid of this, but I'm afraid that it's going to make a big mess if I do. What the hell? Let's see what happens. This is going to be interesting. I think I'm going to grab my torch because I don't want it to get destroyed. Yep. That was quicker than the other way. Now I don't have all that mess in my way. Fortunately, it was mostly wood, so it's pretty easy to clear up the debris. Here. Nice open space. How many blocks do I have left? 21. saw somebody. I don't think I'm gonna have enough here to make a shelter, but what the hell, why not? I can start one. And I think I had some cobblestone left, so I can make one more block, a couple more blocks. Three. One left over. There. The start of a shelter. Oh, just a roof. Alright, so I got my forges. Stick these over here. Don't really have much clay left, but oh well. I sold the brass, didn't I? Most of it. Okay. So that one, I'll go ahead and throw brass stuff in here. This one will be iron. Where'd those go? And get those going for a bit. Alright, so we got some resource production going. Day 4, not too bad. I have 1 point left. I was going into intellect. Go ahead and do 1 more point in intellect so I can get workbenches as soon as I can. Get rid of that. It's gross. And I need more food and water again. Miso soup. Alright, daytime is almost here, so I'm going to be just a little bit risky and come over here. Ooh, there's a nurse. It could be a feral nurse, so I'm going to ignore or I'll try to avoid her and just come up here. I don't know if anybody was alerted, but only a few more minutes till 4 when the daytime rolls around. Really good source of cloth. There we go. All the really nasties should have perished with the coming of the sun. Oh, nice chunk of plastic, but the rest of it is pretty useless. That's not. Guess I can start gathering up some of the cement. Oh, it's standing up. No, it's not. Ooh, that's a good find. Whole mess of... Did I get that yet? Repair kits. Very nice. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and go out through the front hill. Looks like it's gonna be a cloudy, gloomy day in Zombieland. There. But some nice resources out here. As soon as I saw this spot, I was like, yeah, that's good. Get some stone, get some sand, get some concrete, cement, powder, whatever it is. All the fixins. Or all the mixins you need to fix the concrete. Yeah, something like that. To mix the gray sticky stuff that gets really hard when it dries. Or more accurately, when it cures. You know, you always gotta headbang away to the hard rock. Ah, the thrill of gathering resources. I don't know, there actually is something kind of satisfying about just digging a big ass hole. Tunneling way down into the ground to find iron, ore, coal, and all the other resources. And Hughes open back up so I can head over there. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll have a bike to sell. At least the handlebars, maybe a chassis, something. If not, I'm going to have to start looking around for more spots like the gas station. Oh, forgot. Need to get my waypoints in order. Always kind of important because I have loot spawn, respawn turned completely off. So once I have cleared a place out, unless I get a quest to go there again, there's no reason to.
Well, another survivor. I hope you got money.
Well, another prick of a trader. Yes, I got
never would
money.
have guessed you'd pull through, but you did.
You can take her old coat. And I'm going to have more because I want to sell you some stuff. $4,000 worth of stuff. Nice, nice. The PP-19 is a nice gun that is from another mod. I've got all kinds of stuff modded into this. I like mods. Some handlebars. Now all I need is 2 wheels and a chassis. I could get one of the rifles I put in, the Wanker Arms M69, which I believe is a 30-06. Or it might be the 30. Is it? No, it's a 30-06. Again, in the case of the Wanker Arms, when it's the base game, the vanilla game's rifle, I just gave it, modded it so it uses a different round and somewhat different stats. I've added in the 5.56 is from a different mod. That one adds in 5.56 ammo and 45 caliber. I've added in 338 Magnum, 357 Magnum, 30-06 rifle cartridge, 28 gauge for shotguns and 4 gauge for shotguns. I think that's all of them. And it's just about adding more variety. I'll go ahead and buy that just for the hell of it. He doesn't have any ammo for it. The PP-19 is it's from a mod, but I changed it around so it uses 44 Magnum ammo. So that's actually a very nice gun. It's expensive though, but it is really nice. Go ahead and grab a couple of those. Grab that. I wouldn't mind going for the Iron Sledgehammer, but 14K this early, whew, that's rough. I'm going to just have to be satisfied with
you're not so
that.
bad after all.
Nope, I'm not. Didn't want to do that. I'm getting some more mods on my... Yeah, it's a 30-06. So I'm going to have to find ammo for that before I can really use it for anything, but that's okay. Grab some of those. That would have been nice a few minutes ago. I wish I would have looked first, but oh well. I could have saved 10%. All that. Wait a second. Get another job. Get another jab. Do you have any jabs? Only you have buried supplies. That's okay. Do I have any points? Yes, I do. Treasure hunter it is. I will leave his safe alone for now. I'll save that till later when I have a higher loot stage. What is it at? Game stage is at 13. I do have loot goggles on. They're +3, so I'd have a loot stage of 16 at the moment. Not worth it. Better to wait. Let's just hustle and bustle over to this. Buried supplies quest. Do not know if I remember seeing that location before from the combo pack. I think they take care of TVs. You think they take care of TVs? I think they might take care of TVs there. Or they used to. Hello, Smiley. Goodbye. Oh, I have another level already. I do have experience turned up a little bit. I do like leveling quick. Not super fast. Because leveling just a little bit faster feels right to me. But leveling up super fast is not super beneficial in this game because your level adds to your game stage, and game stage dictates the danger level of the zombies, basically. Like on Horde Night, it's day 4 now. I probably will not play all the way to Horde Night. I might. Just depends on how much longer I feel like streaming. I mean, I'm already at over 2 hours into this. With a whole lot of dropped frames. I really hope that it hasn't made the stream really hard to watch. But, anyway, yeah. The game stage gets too much higher. The first Horde Night can still be a bit hectic. I think the highest I've ever had it with experience turned up and just being super aggro on going out and killing zombies. I think I had it over 40 on day 7 before. Not recommended. I did not have a base that was really adequate to the challenge. I survived the Horde Night, but my base got messed up. Definitely gonna put those on. I generally tend to stick to light armor. Not what I want to do. Let's see, this is one of the mod that gives you more quests you can do. A lot of them are based off of pop culture things. Some I recognize, some I don't. I think I'm just going to go ahead and wait until I have a piece of paper and craft the next challenge, because I like going for the veteran quests. I don't want to fight all the zombies, because like I was saying, I don't want my game stage to get too high. Although that base I built will survive a reasonably bad horde. And if you've never seen some of the things I'm getting from loot drops, again, I've modded the loot drops to be a bit more satisfying. Nothing crazy. Just again, I like to find that balance for me, what feels satisfying, but not over the top. Like before with vanilla, the loot drops you get, a lot of times you just get a ton of brass, which sucks. It's just, yeah, way too often the loot drops from the zombies, and on vanilla, it's just not satisfying. You go through a Horde Night, And again, that's why I use a mod that increases the probability that they'll drop in the first place, because it sucks having a horde night killing a whole bunch of zombies and getting practically no loot drops.
No public
But even
bathrooms here,
worse,
and don't be peeing on my floor.
I won't.
I never would have guessed you'd pull through, but you did.
Yes, thanks for
So
the
here
vote
you
of
go.
confidence.
I've
There,
got
you.
a task grade. If you're lucky and pull this off, I'll take care of you.
I didn't read that. But anyway, yeah, the only thing worse than not getting loot drops to me is to get the things and then what you get out of it sucks. So yeah, I loot drop from a zombie that killed over during the morning. It's always a nice surprise. But anyway, yeah. So I tweaked the loot drops. Just a few things, like you can get candy in them. I took the brass. Now I'm getting things a bit too frequently. That does happen sometimes. But it is all RNG. Sometimes you can go ages without getting any. Sometimes you get a whole string of them. It's just the luck of the RNG. Yeah. Keep losing my train of thought. So yeah, I put things in, like you can get the candy, you can get some nice chunks of cash compared to what you normally would get. But it can still be really low. It's just I increase the maximum you can get. You can get some of the treasure drops, like the nuggets and jewelry stuff. Or rather, I can. I'll probably put some of the things I've modded up to make them available. I'll put them on a post on my Patreon page that anybody can access, not behind the patron page. You know, you don't have to be a patron to get it. Just I do that because I'd have control over it. I don't have control over posts on other sides. But most of the mods I've done are just tweaking things, including other people's mods. Like the loot drop mod that I'm using, originally it was ridiculous. It was like a 1 in 10 chance, like a 10% chance or something for a loot bag to drop. I tried it that way first and I was like, no, this is ridiculous. So I toned it down. Getting lucky with those. Oh, I want this. I'm still getting a ridiculous amount of them now for some reason. It's very silly. Hi. Hi. To you too. Somebody hit a mine over there. And I'm also using a mod that increases the number of wandering zombies, which is why there's so many of them wandering around. And yet another one that I did, it's just different zombies, is just adds in some different versions of the vanilla zombies. Like normally you wouldn't see these lab techs wandering around in the wild. Mostly the ones I added in are just, they're tougher and mostly have just little tweaks like different walk styles and stuff, just to add some more variety. And then there's another mod that adds more skins to the game, more zombie meshes, and that also adds in some feral-esque low-level zombies with red eyes and some ones that are actual proper ferals that have drippy green face things going on. I went exactly the wrong way around. But that's why there's so many different skins. If you've played the game before, watched other people play it before, and you're wondering why some of the zombies look so different, that's why.
Everything. Well, I guess you ain't so bad.
Definitely
Here's a
take the
little
antibiotics.
something for your
And
trouble.
none of the others were anywhere nearby, so I'm just going to... Oh, that's actually tempting to switch out for the other one because it has more slots. Everything else would be better, just a slight reduction in explosion resistance. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and switch out.
That's all you're gonna buy? I'll let you show yourself out.
Shut up, you. Just gonna scrap that. Recipes don't sell for a whole lot, but I'll go ahead and sell that. I never think to use the stuff like recog, so I'm not going to bother keeping that. I don't think I've ever used the Atom Junkies. Use Jailbreakers, I use Eye Candy. Because sometimes I just don't want to deal with trying to break into a safe. Go ahead and sell those just for the hell of it. Don't remember him having anything else I particularly wanted. Not right off the bat, anyway. Not that I could afford. Actually, that would be a good buy. I'm not using clubs, so I can't use the barbed wire mod. I hope they change that in Alpha 20.
I'll let you show yourself out.
That either they add versions of the mods that only work on clubs, or change it to where you can use them on other melee weapons like the sledgehammers. Because I think the reason why they have them so they only work on the clubs is if you look in the code for the mods, it's under the item modifiers file. When the club, when you attach the mod to the club or the ball bat or whatever, it actually changes out the model that's being used for the weapon. So they obviously they don't have any additional 3D models in for sledgehammers or anything with the barbed wire or the spikes and whatnot on them. So I hope they either put in versions of mods that also apply to, or not versions of them so much as new mods for individual melee weapons. So you actually have other weapons that have their own selection of mods like the clubs do now, or they make it to where those mods also work on other weapons. And they have, the models that work for those too. That would be nice. I'm gonna go ahead. Do I want to put a point in Lucky Looter yet? Game stage 15. It's not really worth it. Because the problem with Lucky Looter right now is that it's a percentage-based increase. So the first level would only give me a bonus once I get to game stage 20. And then even then it would only be 1. To get any benefit right now, I'd have to go up to level 2, and I don't know if I want to put 3 points into that yet. Because I'd have to get Perception up to level 2, and then put 2 points in Lucky Looter. And right now, it's not really worth it. So I think I'm going to keep pushing intellect stuff. Go ahead and do that so I can get some workbenches, or a workbench, cement mixer made, get that ball rolling for all that stuff. I'll go ahead and put a point in Robotics Inventor, even though I don't have any turrets yet. Just because once I do get a sledge turret, I like that extra bit of distance. That jump from 10 to 14 meters range is very helpful. Alrighty. Do I want to go ahead and go in here right now? I have time. I can do it. Snake. Hate the snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Oh, that's not good. Closer than I would have liked. That's why you try to stay mobile and don't let them back you into a corner. It's never worth it early game. That so I can do those negative conditions, and of course I got infected again because all they have to do is breathe on you and you get infected. Ooh, yeah. At least I'm finding some decent stuff in here. It's not what I was hoping to find, but still not bad. Check out the Sody fountain. What's up? Missed. Missed again. Didn't miss that time. Not bad. Some stuff. Always gotta look for more stuff. And once you have stuff, you gotta find a place for all your stuff. Fire axe, not bad. Couple of rusted barrels that are empty. Another book. crazy asshole neighbors. Alright. 38, I still don't have any 30-06, do I? Nope. Oh well. Don't have any armor that I would need to put that on yet, so I'm going to put it in there. And scrap one of those. I don't have a pickaxe, so I'm going to keep that for the moment. Until I can make one at least. Keep that. That can actually, I need to start cooking some clay in the forges because I need that. Yeah, that's what I want. This is the one with iron in it, so that goes there. That can go there. And I'm going to need some forged iron for the workbench. I also need a hammer and a wrench. I'll need more forged iron for... Did I not turn that on yet? No, I guess not. Oops. Can I make a hammer? I never put a point in miner 69er, so I can't make a hammer yet, I don't think. Nope. I can make a scrap pickaxe. Maybe. I don't know if I have any duct tape. Probably not enough. I've got some bones and some murky water, so I can make some more glue. And thanks to the engineering perk, I can make it cheaper, which is helpful. Let's see much cheaper is it? It's just says craft glue cheap. It's not particularly informative, but okay. Can't really use this right now, so there's no point in holding on to it. Wheel. Handy. Cool. Now I just need another wheel, the chassis for the bike, and I've got a bike. I have the mechanical part I need. I could have just eaten the stew. Oh well. Should hold on to stuff like that because it gives a good boost to health. Iron, I can make 30 so far. I'm gonna need more. What else do I have in here? These there. The way I usually like to do it with the forges is sometimes I just roll with one, but a lot of time I like to use two, and I'll have one exclusively for iron, and the other one I'll use for lead and brass, and if I decide I want to cook cement, I'll go ahead and make a third one. Or I'll just use one of those two. Like the one for brass and lead, a lot of times I'll go ahead and use that for cooking cement too. But a lot of times you can find so much cement or buy it fairly cheaply, you don't have to really worry about doing that. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but there's people outside arguing, yelling at each other. I don't like people fighting. Fucking cunts. Alright, what do I need for a workbench? Iron, plenty. I have everything else I need. I could use another claw hammer, but I can do without it for now. That. And I've already forgotten. Iron, yeah. Workbench. Do I save those? Might as well. That. Workbench is working. Actually, almost have another level already. Nice. Throw that in there. And there's the day. The daytime chime. Let's see, what else can I do? Oh yeah, I used the wrench. I should have used the one that was in there, but oh well. Works just as well. Oh, we can test the design right quick. Except that Mo is very slow. Where the hell did he go? For some reason it's seen something over here is a more viable path. This is why testing is good. What are you trying to use to get up here? Now, is he finally going around to the... Yeah. The AI's pathing sometimes can be so weird. Maybe I need to go ahead and get rid of those boxes in the back. Maybe that's the problem. At first it thought that was a viable way up, then decided it wasn't. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw a point in that because I want some tools. Alrighty. Leather duct tape. Leather duct tape. Oh, we've got more friends coming to visit. Crazy people. Alrighty. Make a hammer. I'll also need more iron if I want to make pickaxe, so I can start doing some proper mining at some point. What's a biker? It's two bikers. And a couple of hookers. Again, where the hell are they trying to path to? coming around this way. Too far away. Don't really play FPS games too much, but I'm not a terrible shot. Let's see. Iron. Do I have enough to make the pickaxe? Yes, I do. Wouldn't mind an iron shovel. But I have a shovel, you know, even if it is just a stone shovel. Oh, I could have gotten a better stone shovel before, couldn't I have? Missed that. Sometimes get in a rush and forget things. Is it over here that I saw those? One of the boxes? Up there. Yeah, there we go. Thought I had seen some better ones somewhere recently. There we go. What else can I raid? Yeah, this is a good spot. All sorts of supplies over here. Sorry I went kind of quiet there. People outside really killed my mood. I have issues with anxiety, and hearing people fighting is one of my trigger things. Although I am loath to use that term, since I associate triggered with whiny brats that think they have a right to complain about anything and everything just because they don't like it. Oh, goody, it's raining again. I do have yet another mod that I use that makes the weather a lot more volatile. Punishing weather, I think it's called. It rains a lot more often. I tend to get cold weather and hot weather a lot more often, and that's what also creates the perpetual fog. Which is really the main reason I wanted to use it, because I kind of like the fog always being around, because it makes things look creepy. Especially when it gets really thick. Usually it's not that bad. Right now you can see pretty good distance even with it being foggy, but when it gets real thick, man, I mean, it's just like real life. I mean, trying to move around in the dense fog with zombies all over the damn place. It's kind of creepy, especially if you get stuck out at night and it gets really foggy. You ever had a white just appear practically in your face out of the fog when you're trying to get back to your base at night? You don't forget that. It's certainly a memorable experience in gaming. Or some of the super zombies from that one mod, the Snufkins mod, because they do show up in the wild sometimes. I didn't realize I was infected. Wasn't paying attention. It's already past. Ooh, cement. It's a nice find. I'll eat those. Yeah, you just shuffle your way over here. I'll keep doing this until you get close enough for me to worry. Look at him twitch, look at him twitch. Twitching on Twitch. These blocks of bricks are the best place to get stone in the game, really. That's why I'm taking the time to get them. Because you need stone to make the concrete. You have to have the powder, you have to have stone and sand. In equal quantities, I believe. So it takes a bit of time to get all the resources you need to make your concrete. But devoting some time into it early game instead of spending all your time reading and stuff when your game stage isn't high enough to really make it worthwhile anyway, to me this is just a good way to play the game. You know, to each their own, obviously. But I kind of find this is a good balance between making sure you have, sorry about that, making sure you have what you need by your first horde night in terms of weapons and stuff, but also are prepared for what's going to be coming later. Who the hell is making all the noise? Okay, are we playing Ring Around the Rosies here or something? Where the hell are they? I can hear them. Are they over here? Well, if they're over there, I'm not gonna... They can just stay over there and keep their merry little asses away from me. I'm not going in the bear den. I mean, I have an AK-47 that could put the bear down, but I'm not going to deal with that. That's not what I'm here for. I want the building materials. hear them loud over here. Or at least I did. Did one of the idiots start digging down? Pardon me. Seriously. I think one of them started digging down to get to me instead of just dropping in. The AI in this game can be so bizarre at times. Except on Horde Nights when they all turn into super geniuses with advanced engineering degrees because they know exactly how to get to you in the weakest possible point to do so. Weird. Very, very weird. Just realized I don't have the music turned on. I produce music so I could turn some of my own on, but I don't want to mess with that right now because if I don't get the volume level just right on the music player, it'll be too loud. So yeah, I don't want to mess with that at the moment. I'll just turn on the game music. It should creep in at some point. And repair some of my stuff. Should have quite a bit of resources now for making some concrete, some cement, whatever. And I should have most of what I need, if not all of what I need to make a cement mixer already. Pretty much cleared this out as much as I feel like I need to. I usually don't bother with the bear because it's just a waste of bullets. There's not really enough loot down there in the cave to justify the danger of going down there to try to get it. So, are they seen? Oh, never looked at these, apparently. Oh, I have a treasure map. So, are they seeing those as a way up? I'm sure I didn't miss anything else. Or is it this that they're seeing as a possible way up? I think they can jump up here, maybe? This is the other thing you have to worry about when you're converting POI into a horde base is, are the zombies going to path the way you want them to, or are they going to do something goofy? So hopefully... Now... Yeah, looks like that was the problem. They thought they could possibly jump up. Yeah, now they're doing what I want them to do. Yep, that works. That will get the job done. The hell was that? Oh. I don't know why sometimes they just will fall over and die. She must have been bleeding because of the barbed wire or something, and it finally took her down. Alright, let's see. I think I need springs. What all do I need for a cement mixer? More iron, springs. I need more mechanical parts. I don't have enough of those. Alright, I do have not quite enough, but most of the iron I need. So I need 14 more iron. I don't have enough clay in there. No, I don't have enough iron anymore. Wow, I actually ran low on iron. Holy shit. Alright, I'm going to have to go get some more iron. Unfortunately, cars right here I can wrench down. I haven't really been looking for any ore nodes, so I'm not sure where I might be able to go to get an iron node, but there's plenty of stuff that I can salvage. Not sure if I can. Yep, you can salvage these. I was not sure if you could, but apparently you can. Oh, and you get ice balls or snowballs from them too. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I remember somebody. I was watching somebody play the game or do a stream. Somebody was streaming. It may have been Not a Gamer Game. Yeah. But somebody was doing a stream and they were in the desert biome and they got the recipe for the smoothies and made the comment that there's no way they'd be able to use it, and then somebody told them you could get the snow from salvaging the ice machines. That's what they were talking about. Okay. Food and water's way low. Make some teas. This is why a wrench and salvage ops is probably the most valuable tool you can get in terms of over the course of the entire game. Because there are just so many things that you can wrench apart, or ratchet, or impact driver apart. It's like practically everything electronic, all of the plumbing stuff really, the lights, cars, practically everything mechanical can be wrenched apart. Oh, I missed a sink. See, there's a lot of the, or not a lot, but some of the pipes and things can be wrenched apart. Like the brass fixtures on pipes. You can wrench apart all of the AC units. The electronic box things you can wrench apart. Whoa. Timber! Wrench apart these. Junction boxes. If you want to take the time to nerd pull up, you can wrench apart all the signs. Get the workbenches. You can get so many resources to sell and use just with a wrench. And the salvage ops makes it even better. I don't know about these. Nope. But you can do the pumps. Alrighty. I think that's pretty much... Nope. That was not quite everything. That's why I wanted to do another look around. Yeah, if you want to spend the time doing it, every single building you go into is a treasure trove of stuff that you can salvage. You can even get the exit signs. That shelf. Ooh, bunch of coffee. And you can even get these safes, actually. Although it takes way too damn long. And typically I don't like trying to do this because, I mean, see how long this takes. Once you get like an impact driver or something, it's not that bad, but with a wrench, it's ridiculous. But you get quite a bit of iron, because you get forged iron out of it, which is valuable, especially since I need more of it. Go ahead and eat something else, and drink another tea, get stamina regen going again. I really need to take antibiotics. It is creeping ever closer to the 12%. Once I do this, I can go over and take a dose. I think most of the zombies in the area have been killed off at this point. Then I'm going to have to take a quick restroom break. But I think I will go ahead and do the Horde Night. Just go ahead and burn through and make this a 1 week stream. get through the entire week in the game. Alright, I think that is pretty much everything I can wrench from over here. I could do the same with my base, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I should have plenty of stuff. Alright, I need to grab the engine still. No, I have two of them. I got another one from that car. Can I make more than one? No. What would I need to make another one? More iron, which I can get. Should be able to get enough. Oh no, because I didn't have enough iron in there, but I will shortly. Ooh, boy. Read that. Since I have some more brass stuff I can throw in over here, might as well get that melting down. Oh, it sounds like we have visitors. There they are. Don't particularly care at the moment. I'm just gonna go ahead and go take a little bit of a restroom break right quick. Fill up my water bottle, and I'll be right back. I don't have a be right back thing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave you with this screen. But I'll be back. I'll be back. And I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Guess who's back? Shady's back. Alright, did we have any uninvited guests while I was away? Doesn't look like it. Make some more forged iron. Let's see, do I have anything else I can throw in here? Don't appear to have any more lead or brass.